Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's lesson, we are going to cover on how to convert decimal fraction to binary number. And before we dive in so much in the whole thing, we need to remember that a decimal number which has a decimal point separating the integral and the fractional part is referred to as a mixed number, as we have already learned that in mathematics. And in the first case, in the integral part, the weighted part increases from the right to the left. Remember, the integral part is the whole number, while in the fractional part, the weight decreases from left to right. Then also we also need to remember that the integral and the fractional parts of a mixed number are computed separately, especially if you're trying to convert the decimal to a binary. You need to separate the two parts, that is the integral and the fraction. Then after you work on each individually, you combine the answer. And these are the steps that will take place whenever we are trying to convert a decimal fraction to a binary number. Step number 1, you need to write down the number. Step 2, you multiply the fractional part by 2 and you write down the product. You continuously multiply the fractional part of the products by 2 until either 0 is obtained or the product obtained becomes equal to the original fraction, or it repeats an earlier product. Then another thing is that you read, when it comes down to the answer, you need now to read the integer part from up downwards, from the most top part going to the bottom part. And lastly, you write down the answer in base 2. Remember, we are trying to convert our number from decimal, which has 10 digits. That is from 0 all the way to 9. While for the binary, we have only 2. That's why if you look at our case, we are dividing the number by 2. And the number is either 0 or 1. Okay, let's dive direct to the example that we have. So this is my example. So we have this one, 0.485 base 10. So this is our decimal. So we need to convert this one into a binary. Therefore, we have these ones. Remember the rules? You need to multiply. Okay, now I have two tables here to make our work easy. Okay, so as you can see, we have this table on this side where we have the steps. You write down the number. Try to minimize this one. You write down the number, then you multiply the fraction. Remember, we are only interested with the fractional part, which has 485. So we have 0.485. So you multiply by 2. And the answer that you get is 0.970. Now, the answer that you get on the integral part is the one that you write as your binary. So as you can see, our integral part is 0. Therefore, you write the 0. If you look at instruction number 3, you will need to continuously multiply the fractional part by 2 until either 0 is obtained or the product obtained becomes equal or the original fraction starts to repeat itself. Okay, next we have the 0.970. You multiply by 2, and this one you will get 1.940. So you need a calculator whenever you're working on this case. Okay, let's move to the next one and try to maximize. Okay, so as you can see, the integral part is 1, therefore you're going to write down the 1. Then get 940, then you multiply by 2, get 1.880. So pick the integral part, which is 1, write down the 1 as your binary. So we have 0, 0, multiplying by 2, which is going to give us a 1.764, and you write down the 1. Then next we have 0.760 multiplying by 2, which is giving us a 76, which is a 1.520. Then you write down the 1. Then work on the fraction, which is a 520 multiplying by 2, which is going to give us a, for this one, 520 is supposed to be 1.040. So you write down the 1. Then next part we have pick the fraction again, 0.40 multiplying by 2. Remember the rule is always to multiply by 2. This mistake here, we are supposed to have 0 there. Then multiplying by 2, which is going to give me 0.080. Then for this one, it's going to be 0. Then next we have pick the fractional part, 0.080 multiplying by 2, which is going to give us 0.160. I hope up to that point we had making of the follow-up. So you write down the 0. Remember, in a case like this one, you will find that it will continue to repeat itself all the way. But as long as you get the first 7 decimal places, that's enough. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have already 7. So as long as you get the 7 digits, the rest of the part is enough for that. So you can continue up to the end parts. So the final answer, remember, we have said that you read the answer downwards. So we'll have the answer as 0.1. Sorry, supposed to start with 0, 1. How many 1 do we have? We have 5 1. Then 0. Then the base 2. Remember the base 2, of course, that matter. So I hope up to that point we can make on you can make a follow-up up to that point, not to convert the decimal place. So the final answer should have 2. So we have subscripted 2, then it's supposed to be base 2. So this is the final answer. So this one is so this is correct. The working is correct. This is a good work. Okay, let's move to the next case. In our next case, we have where we have 16.05. So we have the integral and we have the fractional. So you need to separate the two cases. Okay, let's start with the first case. So the first case is 16. So we have the 16, which is the integral, while the other part is 0.05, which is the fractional part. Remember the rule? The rule is always to multiply by 2. So when you multiply this one by 2, you get 0.10. So the answer here is 0. Then get the fraction again, multiplying by 2, you get 0.2. So again, we will have a 0 there. And remember, guys, if you are new on this channel, don't forget to subscribe as you continue to learn. Then the next part, we have 0.2 multiplying by 2. Remember, we are multiplying everything by 2, which is giving us a 0.4. and this is also 0. Then next part we have 0.4 multiplying by 2, which is 0.8, which is 0. Then 0.8 multiplying by 2, which is giving us 1.6. Then we have the one here, then 0.6, okay, which is multiplying by 2, which is equal to 1.2. So we'll have 1 here. Then we have 0.2 multiplying by 2, which is 0.4. So we have the 0 here. So as you can see, our equation has started to repeat itself. As you can see, we have this scenario. Where is it? This one. So this one is the same as this one, translating that we have reached the end of our fractional part. It has started to repeat itself. Okay, having done that, let's move to this other one. Remember the rule that we had already covered, or now to convert numbers using either. We had already covered 2 cases. We had a case whereby we used the place value method, and the other one we had the place value, and the other one was the decimal division. So for the place value, this one we work with the place value. We think of a number that's supposed to be near to the given number, or equal or slightly less, and the number is 2 based on. So we have 2 minus supposed to give us 0. So the given number is 16. 16, the normal number is 16. 16 divided by 2, you get 8. Divided by 2, you get 4. Divided by 2, you get 2. Divided by 2, you get 1. So if the generated number and the number base 2 value place value are the same, it's supposed to give you 1. Okay, do you have any value here? No. So for the 4, no. For the 2, no. For the 1, no. So the other numbers are going to be 0, 0, 0, 0. So those are the answers that we're supposed to give out. Okay, now the final answer will be, how many 0 do we have? We have 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, point 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, base 2. So that is the answer for 16.05. We have converting the given number from the decimal to binary number, and it is that straight. You don't have to struggle. As long as you follow the instructions the way they have, you will eventually get the answer. So definitely it is right, working is right, and the other working is right. So guys, that's the end of our this specific lesson. So take your time, go through the example that you have been given by your teacher, practice, and you can make the reference to this particular video as many times as possible to get yourself conversant on how to convert your given number from decimal fraction to binary number. So guys, I still urge you, if you're still new on this channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have already subscribed and you have any new suggestion, you have any comment regarding the work, you can write it on the comment section. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.